Hey, what's up, guys? Jack here, coming out with part two. So we're gonna be doing NL West predictions and the wild card for the NL, which is very interesting. I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. So for NL West, we have first place Dodgers, second place Padres, third place D-backs, fourth place Giants, fifth place Rockies. So obviously, I don't think any guys are gonna challenge me or have a comment war over the Dodgers finishing first place. I mean, I think we all knew that was gonna happen. Mookie Betts trade was great for them. They didn't really give up anything. Still held on to Gavin Lux, Dustin May, and their lineup is really good. I mean, it's gonna be Betts, and they still have Jock Peterson also. So they got Betts, Peterson, and Bellinger in the outfield. You got Max Muncy, Seager, Justin Turner, and Will Smith, Gavin Lux. I mean, that's a really good infield and lineup. Bullpen is still pretty good. They got, I think Dustin May will be in the bullpen. Maybe he'll start, though. I'm not sure. They still have Kenley Jansen, though, great closer, Pedro Baez. And then their rotation, they got Walker Buehler, lost Ryu, which is going to hurt a little bit, and they lost Kenta Maeda also, but they still have Clayton Kershaw, and they have some good prospects too. God, what's that guy's? There's some guy that the Red Sox were going to trade. It's not Dustin May. Think about it now. Dustin May will probably start being the rotation because they'll need him in the rotation. But the rotation, thinking about it now, is a little iffy. I don't know why they didn't re-sign Ryu. I guess they were saving for Betts. But anyways, I think the Dodgers are a clear favorite in the NL West to win. So second place, we had the Padres. My second favorite team, big Padres fan. If you don't like that I don't like two teams, I'm sorry, that's too bad for you. I don't like two teams. They're my second favorite team. Anyways, so Padres have awesome lineup. I love their lineup. Oh my god. So I love the trade, their Tommy Pham trade. They traded Hunter Renfroe and Xavier Edwards, who they don't need, even though Xavier Edwards is a top 100 prospect, for Tommy Pham. Love that trade. They got kind of that last piece they were missing in their lineup, to have like a really elite MLB lineup. Then they upgraded their bullpen. They traded for Emilio Pagan from the Rays, who's great. No one really knows about him, but he pitched really well in the playoffs last year. He throws hard. So they got him, Kirby Yates, Munoz, and they signed Drew Pomeranz, 4 years for $34 million. 4 years a little too long for Pomeranz, but he is a lefty who's throwing 95. He does have injury problems, but he's really going to help them out in the bullpen. Then their only question mark really is their lineup is going to be it's going to be like Fernando Tatis, awesome, Hosmer, Machado, Pham. They got Francisco Mejia, who I really like, high catching prospect. He'll start a catcher for them, backed up by Austin Hedges. And then they got Truxton Profar, who I really like. Will Myers, no more Manuel Margot. He was in the Emilio Pagan trade, but overall, just a really good, solid core. The question mark with the Padres, and it always has been for years and years, is their starting pitching. They finally got a number one, I think, with Chris Paddock. He's young, but he's so talented. He's just so good. And they still have Mackenzie Gore and Louis Patino coming up. I don't know if Louis Patino will start in the major leagues, but he's really good, and he's ranked really high. And then Mackenzie Gore is like the second overall prospect. So they got some great pitching prospects. But their rotation to be Chris Paddock. They traded for Zach Davies. They got Trent Grisham. I forgot about Trent Grisham. He's their other outfielder. He's a great leadoff hitter also, so he'll help them out. And I like Trent Grisham. So it's gonna be Paddock, Zach Davies, Garrett Richards, who throws like 98. He's okay. He'll be their 3 starter. and Quantrill and Denison Lamb. So iffy starting rotation, but if they can put it together, I think they can finish in second place. I don't think they'll make the wild card though. I don't think they'll come close to it. Third place, we got the Diamondbacks. Really like what the Diamondbacks did this offseason. They got Madison Bumgarner. They inked a #1 ace, which they didn't really have. They still have Mike Leake. They still have Luke Weaver, which actually was pretty good trade, thinking about it. I mean, they traded away Goldschmidt because they weren't, I wouldn't have traded away Paul Goldschmidt, but they didn't want to sign him to a huge contract. So they got Luke Weaver, Carson Kelly, who are both, and then some other guy. But Luke Weaver's actually panned out to be like a pretty solid starter. And Carson Kelly's like a good catcher, and you need a good catcher. He hit like 265, and he's a great fielding catcher, and he hit up some home runs. So that was actually a pretty good trade. But so they got their rotation to be Mad Bum, Luke Weaver, Mike Leake. Oh man, I'm blanking out here. We'll move beside to that. But they have a good starting. Zach. What's the guy from Miami? Zach Gallen. So they have a good starting rotation. And they have another starting pitcher who's good. Maybe he'll come to my mind later, but they have a solid rotation. Their lineup improved a lot when they got Starlin Marte. That was a great trade from the Pirates. They gave up pretty much nothing. So now their lineup's going to be like lead off. They still have Ketel Marte, great season last year, Gold Glove winner, MVP candidate, I believe. No, he wasn't MVP candidate, but he had a great season. He had like 320, a lot of power. So they have Ketel Marte, Eduardo Escobar, awesome season last year. Great trade from the Twins. Carson Kelly, Marte, who's that guy that re-signed? Not Chris Owings. They have a good fielding shortstop. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. But anyways, great lineup and pretty solid lineup. Not great lineup. David Peralta. I forgot about David Peralta. David Peralta's their 3-hitter. So pretty good, really good lineup here. And then their bullpen's a little iffy. They still have Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley's good. But after that, he's kind of on his own. I don't know of any really good bullpen pitchers for them besides him. So D-backs should have a good season. They could pass the Padres. I think it's very possible they could finish second. There's a small chance they can make a wild card. I think they have a chance to make the wild card. I don't think the Padres do, but I think the Padres will finish ahead of the D-backs. Weird observation. Next, we got the New York Giants. San Francisco Giants. Sorry, said on Football Mind. So Giants lost their #1 starter. They lost somebody else. Lost Will Smith. So oh my god. I mean, they're down really bad. I don't know how they won so many games last year. They don't have any good pitchers. They have Johnny Cueto returning, and Smart is all right. Just not a good lineup, not a good bullpen, not a good rotation. Their bullpen is just decimated at this point. And their lineup is just a bunch of old veterans who suck. Posey's all right, I guess. Longoria's way past his prime. Who else is past his prime? I guess, yeah, Posey is. I mean, I like Posey, but he's past his prime. Sandoval's past his prime. And, they got guys like Carl Yastrzemski Jr. or whatever his name, Mike Yastrzemski, in their lineup who are just aren't MLB players. So, they're rebuilding, and they've got, good executive, and, they're rebuilding in the right direction, but it's going to be a while. So I feel bad for them. Last place, we got the Rockies. I was debating between Giants and Rockies and who's going to finish last. Rockies are just, talk about a mess. I mean, Nolan Arenado doesn't even want to play for them. They have a good lineup. Probably better than the Giants lineup. I don't know why the Giants would finish in front of the Rockies. That was stupid. That's my bad. Their rotation is a coin toss every year. You don't know who's going to pitch well for them. I don't know if John Gray will pitch well for them. I don't know if Kyle Freeman will. They have potential, but it's just a mess down there. Wade Davis was horrible last year. I like Wade Davis, but he sucked last year. So maybe if everyone plays their best, they could finish third or maybe even second. But it's just a mess down there, man. But they have a good team, and I don't know how they finished last year, but they did. They're gonna have a good lineup this year with Blackman, Arenado, Story. They always do. Daniel Murphy, but the really fast guy, Tapia, I think his name is. So lineup's gonna be good. Rotation is you have no idea, and bullpen is So it's Rockies. They did get Brian Shaw, so that'll help their team a little bit. He was on their team last year also, so we'll see. But a little harsh to say they're finishing last. They probably won't finish last, but we'll see. So wild cards, I had the the Mets and the Reds. So originally I had the Mets and the Nats, but I thought I might as well roll the dice and say that the Reds will make it just because their team is so stacked and they're so good and they're a lot better than the Nationals. And I mean that their lineup's better, starting pitching may be better, bullpen isn't better, but they're better than the Nats. And the bottom line with them is they actually have solid three hitters. You know what I mean? Like they have a three hitter on their team. Okay, they have a really solid hitter on their team. Nats don't really. I mean, Soto's a really good hitter actually, and so is Trey Turner. Gotta slow myself there. That was really stupid what I just said. But the Reds just have a better lineup. That's the bottom line. Reds are more talented, so that's why I think the Reds will make the second wild card. First wild card, the Mets. Elite rotation, like I was talking about before. Their lineup works pretty well, and they have maybe the best bullpen. So, I think the Mets will do well, and they'll finish in the first wild card. D-backs, like I was saying, it could happen, but probably not. Just because their bullpen's not very good, and their lineup isn't. I mean, it's a good lineup, but it's not like top tier. It's not like a playoff lineup, I don't think. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that. Thank you.